density of Denver.
No, density by people wise.
Can we fix them?
Yes, bro. So Mali has 78,000 people per square mile, but Manila has 43,000. So I'm gonna just go with Manila because Mali seems like, what the fuck? Like that's almost twice as many people. So Manila, bro, is only a few miles big, right?
Comfortable when I talk to you.
Okay, check this out, bro. Manila has 15. It's a 15-mile city, 15 miles, and it fits 1.7 million people. South Dakota has 800.
Damn.
1.7 million, right?
I'll take a DoorDash for 15 miles, and if there was 1.7 million people in that, that would be like.
And I feel like it's an island too.
How many are in?
But it's a city. Right. It's like bigger. It's like way more
That's
like
population.
Think about Minneapolis has 300,000. In Minneapolis, I think it has like maybe like what? Minnesota might have 300,000.
What? No.
Population of Minnesota.
Maybe like 1.5 million.
Oh, type shit. Maybe.
I feel like Minneapolis has probably like 500, 600. Maybe you're right. I don't know actually. I'm tripping.
I feel like I drove past the sign maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just had to double back on that. I don't know actually. I feel like Minneapolis has more. What'd you say? 300?
424,000.
In Minneapolis, how much does St. Paul has? How much does St. Paul have?
Minneapolis of Minneapolis. That's why I didn't show up. $305,000.
It's St. Paul.
Yeah.
So
how big is it though?
so 3/4 of a mil. That's just in Minneapolis.
So, but St. Paul.
That's just Minneapolis.
St. Paul is 56 miles big, squared. So Manila, 15. St. Paul, 56. St. Paul, 300,000 people. Manila, 6 times that in less than a sixth of the space, bro. So when I tell people this, like you can look at the size of New Zealand, right? Like a country that does not take a lot of mental energy. Like as we know it exists, we know it's beautiful. Like we think it's kind of remote, but it's not that big. It's Big Brother's Australia. It's probably like 1/30th of the size of Australia. So if you take New Zealand, which is 103,000 square miles, 103,000 square miles, and you times that by how many people Manila has in per square mile. Like if you take the exact same density of Manila per 15 miles, and you're like, okay, well, you know, like Manila could fit here, here, here. Like Manila could fit in New Zealand 100 times. You know, so that being said, New Zealand is 100 times bigger than New Zealand. New Zealand should be able to hold 12 billion people then.
New Zealand is 100 times bigger than New Zealand?
New Zealand's 100 times bigger than Manila, you know? Or however the numbers work.
Mm-hmm.
But given the numbers, when you take Manila's miles per square, or Manila square miles, and New Zealand square miles, New Zealand would be able to hold 12 billion people. The population of the Earth is only 7 right now. So how Manila's doing it? I know it's like flatter land, it's not as many mountains and shit, but I'm just saying, if even New Zealand could hold half of that, 6 billion, That's half. That's the whole population, except for a billion people that could just chill in Australia. Like, what are y'all talking about? That means all China just is for cows, all Russia's for wheat, all of America's just for fucking soybeans. Like, without touching nothing else, we could fit 12 million people in. If it was the same, if it was the same population density of these big cities in Manila or here or there, you know what I'm saying?
Why isn't it?
Just because people haven't moved there yet. Because like.
But you can say that about anything. Then.
Right. I could have said it about fucking South Dakota. I could have said if
South Dakota people could fit in probably Minnesota. No,
right.
Maybe, no.
Right. If they use the same, I don't know how big Minnesota is compared to New Zealand.
If they use the same what though? What do you call that?
If they had as much population density as Manila did, and they.
Density, what you mean?
Yeah, like look, this whole thing is New Zealand, but Manila's right here, so you could fit like 15 Manilas in there. So if you take Manila's population times 15, like damn, y'all niggas could actually hold 20 million people. Not the 200,000 you have. So why are you guys talking about overpopulation? Because there's places in the earth that actually do this.
True.
Like if you think why? Because there's places that do it.
All billions of those people, you need to have an ecosystem. You need to have some type of.
Manila does it.
But Manila doesn't have mass production, like they don't have big ass warehouses and like people like making.
Right. They get their shit shipped in from out places.
Yeah, all that shit in, like,
right, and they're probably like an island, so that's what I'm saying. But even if you just had Australia, which is the island next door with all the warehouses and shit, like how Manila does it, they outsource. But I'm saying the problem with that people usually say with overpopulation is the people. It's not the people, bro. It's the cows. The cows take up so much fucking space. Like if y'all were vegan,
cows don't take up the most space. Our way of thinking does, because we should be thinking more vertical instead of horizontal anyway. So don't blame on the cows, just blame it on how we are fucking, how our brains work. Our brains are
right, and it's not just the cows.
Vertical, not horizontal. Our brains are vertical.
Right.
Or horizontally, not vertically.
For real?
Elon Musk thinks at least at one point he thought vertically. He thinks vertically, and like we have a lot more space up. We can go higher. We all I don't know. That's just like some high shit. I don't even know too much deep into that, but we have a lot of houses. And
right, cows don't necessarily be building up and shit. Like people can, yeah.
Yeah. And we're just not there. It's not there. But.
So the size of Manila is 14 square miles, okay?
And we only do that because the world's probably number one animal of choice is probably the cow, right? Or a fish. Or maybe not the number one choice, but the one that they, how do you say it? They need the most of. Not in just diet, but like home goods and shit like that too. Like the cow is probably used for. You can't use a chicken for a fucking purse. You're gonna use a cow, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Right, because it's not leather, right?
So like, I think a cow is.
The usage of it, right? So. Overpopulation is not the problem. It's your lifestyle that wants the cow. Well, think about it. South Dakota has 6 billion cows.
South Dakota has 6 billion.
South Dakota has
6 billion?
No, 6 million cows and 800,000 people, or 5 million cows and 800 million people. You know, and I'm sure a lot of these farmers don't even write all their cows because then they have to pay more taxes or whatever that works. You know, so they just probably write less. But they have 4.5 million documented cows. And those cows be ranging on a lot. No, Nebraska has 6.8 million, but they have more people. So it's like South Dakota has the most. They have the most cows per person in the whole country.
You're only bringing up cows because those are the ones that just take the most.
Okay. And they also with the emissions and shit. There's a lot of emissions that cows do. They say.
What they require.
And they eat a lot. They have to graze over a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they drink a lot of water too, bro. That's a problem. For 1 pound of beef, like in that movie with that whole vegan movie that went viral like a couple years ago, that everybody went vegan on that shit for like 2 months and then stopped going vegan. Yes, bro. They even I think I think they even showed in there that like if you eat one hamburger from a cow, it's like a couple thousand gallons of water, just because that cow drinks so much water.
Yeah,
and you guys want to talk about shorting my shower for 2 minutes?
But
every bite of your burger you eat is like a 10 fucking minute shower, nigga.
Same thing with cashews.
I ain't ate a fucking burger in 7 years. You know how long I can have my fucking showers? Like, don't fuck with me, bro.
Same with cashews, though. They take a lot of water.
Like, these niggas be pissing me off, bro. They be like, nah, bro, the cashews don't be taking as much water as these fucking cows, bro. Do they actually?
Yes, or almonds.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you this right here. Okay, check this out. This shit's crazy. New Zealand is 103 million square mile. Bro, start up. New Zealand is 103,000 square miles. 103,000. Think about dollars, because you could do good with money. New Zealand got $103,000. Let's just call it 100,000. New Zealand got 100,000. We're gonna lower it. Manila got $14.8. They got $14 in their.
Why Manila again?
No, Manila is dense as fuck. So check this out real quick. Think about it. Manila got $14. This nigga named Manila got $14.
Most dense in the world.
Second most. This other city got 7. This other city I'm not even gonna talk about because their numbers are off the chart.
But why are they off the charts?
I don't know. I thought Manila was the highest. I just looked it up and their shit was 80 per mile and Manila's is 40.
You should not be talking about Manila though.
No, but look, because Manila will make you fucking realize regardless.
Any other city has, you could say that, but the grass is always gonna be greener.
No, bro. I'm saying Manila. I'm gonna finish it so you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. Manila has 15 miles to work with. New Zealand has 100,000. Manila has 1.7 million people in those 15 miles. So they know how to use their miles.
You said the same.
I'm going to divide 100,000 by 15. And then I'm going to times that by Manila's population so we can see how much, if New Zealand had the same amount of people, how much they would have.
But we know that answer.
What is it?
What you think? Which is probably crazy. But like...
100.
You can do that with... I guess you don't have to... Yeah, I guess you go in this extreme, I guess, is what like throws me off. Is that you don't have to go as far as Manila and Philippines.
This shit's crazy. 100,000 divided by 15, because I just rounded it up, is 6,666.
Right.
So if you take 6,666 and you times that by 1.7 million people, you get 11.333333333 billion people. So as dense as Manila is, Manila got 1.7 million people per mile. New Zealand would fit 11.3 billion people in it if they were as packed and as upward as Manila. So when people be talking about like overpopulation, then they want to say like, well, shit, there's no more room. Like, I don't get it.
Who says that though?
Everybody be trying to preach overpopulation. There's actually limits in China.
Who says there's no more room?
Bro,
when you can
there's
do
limits
what
in
acres
some places, not China, but like some places, about how many kids you can have and shit. There used to be.
That has nothing to do about overpopulation.
Yes, sometimes, bro, and there is like a fear mongering thing. There's a whole community and society that be like, don't have kids, don't bring kids here. Like they're gonna like you're killing the earth if you bring kids here. More cars, more.
Third world party.
There's just party in the U. Bro, there's communities, bro.
Well, yeah.
There's
in
people
Garrettsville,
bro.
Cleveland,
There's people identify as
Garrettsville, Ohio.
bro. You
the
saw people
Amish.
identify as dogs and cats at Loring Park. You know, you're like you
Yeah,
have
okay,
you probably
that's
have
fair.
somebody that lives close that's like.
But that's not, yeah, but they're not realistic. They haven't figured that out yet, though. Or are
That's
they?
why you
Or
need
are
it.
they super realistic and we just haven't adapted yet or evolved yet? No, nigga, they're not realistic. That's
Who
why.
not?
Niggas who are dressed up as cats fucking thinking they're fucking. What? Like, what? So I'm saying, like, we're not.
But I'm just saying, people thinking overpopulation is a thing, is a bigger like thing than that, and like
We
they
are
just
the
need.
over. My bad, I'm sorry.
No, they just need to to be like, yo, what's the actual problem? Like, why do people actually saying that overpopulation is a thing?
Only people that say that I feel like are Karens and people that believe in the tooth fairy. Like who says that? Nobody. While they sit on what? Well, ask themselves. Are they living in tiny houses? Or are they looking to buy acres like every other American person in the American dream? Are they? Are they like what?
He said tiny houses.
Overpopulation. We have what? We have like what? Like you had.
I got it. I'm on.
Whoever would say that, I'd just be like,
This nigga doesn't believe that people believe in overpopulation.
No.
He's like, yo, it's
I
just
believe that people
curious.
believe in every single weird ass, mythological, weird anything.
Been
I
live for
believe it.
45,000 minutes.
But I'm not worried about those people. Like, it's like the same people, like, that believe.
But don't you ever feel like, yo, they're carrying this thing? Like, maybe I could just tell them, like, yo, that's not real. You don't have to carry that.
It's the same thing as like every other opinion that they have. Am I supposed to go up to every person and just try to change their opinion about what they think when I know like you're not changing my opinion no matter what, like for some things unless it is like debatable. But if we know the facts and shit and people are saying it's overpopulated when it's not, we know that it's not, or is it? Or is it really actually over? Are we overpopulated? No, we're actually really not. We'll figure it out when we need to. Niggas are in the White House in a fucking oval room, like big. We're not over what? Like,
Niggas still swinging they dicks. You can't swing your dick if it's overpopulated.
Everyone will be gay if everyone.
Your shit be tight. You be in this bitch like, damn niggas. I got some leg room.
If we were really overpopulated, everyone would be homosexual.
You know what is crazy? I just heard a stat.
Think about that though, real quick.
Wait, go ahead.
If we were really overpopulated, everybody would be a homosexual. We'd be dick to butt. We'd have to be.
Bruh.
Ain't enough girls.
Y'all.
You gonna be dick to butt or dick to wall. And you better have a girl, but there's more guys than girls, right?
No, bro, there's more girls than guys, they say.
Okay.
Like maybe twice as many, but like.
So I'm really gonna be dick to wall.
Nah, for damn, I always thought it were shorties for me because like.
These bitches are.
Because like a lot of niggas is either gay or not of age to be with women, younger or older. Like
he said, some of them are retarded, where they're not even.
Some of them, like some of them just ain't there.
Some of them ain't as cute as me. Some of them don't have long hair.
There's already
twice.
No, there's already there's already twice as many.
Yeah,
there's already twice as many women, bro. So like, damn, that already says I should get.
Shit though, because it's twice as many women. That doesn't mean anything. Women are dumb. It's gonna be a bunch of fucking lesbians on this bitch. Stupid as fuck.
Bro, so look, this is what I heard a little bit ago is, I heard a little bit like maybe a day ago that in the 50s, since the 50s, houses have got bigger with less people in them, like per home. Each home has gotten bigger and the number of homes is smaller than like.
That goes back to population and per capita shit.
No, it's just crazy. Like, yeah, exactly. Because if the houses are getting bigger,
there's less people back in
and
the day.
And then the people, but if the houses are getting bigger, but the families are getting smaller. Was like
because
back in the day it would be 5 people in the house.
Broken families, so it's probably
of the houses getting sold.
Think about all the houses on Summit back in 1907 when they built those bitches.
Oh, I guess they do have apartments now too, which really probably I don't know how they do that because you don't need as many small houses.
There were an apartment. There wasn't community living back in the day like that. Everyone was trying to find land and build and have a
Right. And
place.
now the people with small houses can all just live in one small house and not put it on the housing
Right.
size chart.
Development.
That's
Some
not a
development.
house. We're not even gonna count that. All houses are bigger.
Right. A true house is a big ass man. A true house is a mansion.
Right.
Because when they built that bitch back in 19, a true house is like a Summit house is like I consider a true ass house like.
Oh, I thought you were cooking on some other shit. Because honestly, I was thinking like all houses today are mansions compared to like what?
No, I'm not cooking on that. That's not.
Because
I guess yeah.
all houses are.
Compared to the barbarians who had houses as caves.
If anybody from like 100 years ago would come today, they'd be
Compared
like,
to the dude on Survivor.
If they went to your house-
his is out of bamboo.
I guess it is how you keep it and how clean it is. Because it's like if they went to your house over north and you had a clean ass house,
It's not about how you keep it. It's not about upkeep. When it comes
or
to
Edina or fucking anywhere, they'd be like, "Yo, this is a mansion." If it was built right and it was like aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, it's just about build. Because like I know this dude, the biggest house I've ever been into, the biggest house that I've never ever. It happens to be one of my friends, John Spillane. I've said this a million times. His house is.
Anyways, like he grew up in that house. He was like,
I was at his house plenty of times.
I heard that nigga.
Anyways,
told me, he said,
the
bro,
nigga's house is. I mean,
we left by 6:55 so they could have dinner.
His house is the the block that his house is on is phenomenal, and he has the second biggest house on the block, and the other house is on the other side. And I think when I was a kid, there was either a myth or like a rumor that it was the owner or the caretaker or whatever of the community or whatever. So it was like the owner of the block, probably the nigga who like invested, probably a nigga who had like 500 million, you know, like who put fucking fat ass houses and sold them or whatever. And his house had an elevator in it. That was the only house on the block that had an elevator. So John was like, yeah, third or fourth grade, he said that was the owner of the block. But yeah,
real?
John had the next biggest house.
For block?
John Spillane. I'm sure you might have met.
Bro, is this the same block where Sharif had a crib on?
No,
but it's in that same area.
It's.
I think you've actually took me over there though before. Because I feel like I've seen these houses, but then you're like, oh, the one Sharif got is like one of the nice areas, but like.
You might have even met John before too, because if I asked John right now if he's met my brother Brock, he'd be like, yeah, I met Brock. Remember that one time I was at that party and he was there fucking, he looked high as hell, and I just got done fucking Caitlin Morgan, and he was just telling me some stupid shit. But his dad's a lawyer in New York.
Bro, chill, bro. I'm on live right now. I had to bleep that out. Hold up. Just talking about.
Yeah, you should probably tell people you're not doing that when you do that.
Bro, people in the look at people in the comments like, bro, T for bro, tie for bro, tie for bro. Like he said he's live 3 times now. Look, tie for bro, tie for bro, tie for bro. Drop dubs in the comment for bro.
He has the fattest house, bro.
Hey, drop dubs in the comment for bro. Cause how many? Say how many times I said that we was live now. I even said we was live for 45,000 minutes already straight. Thank you, bro.
What was the point of that about having a proper house, a big ass house? Those are proper houses. Everything.
I was just talking about that stat I heard, but then it was like, there's community housing that's not even on that list now. Like what? And people who own houses, right?
The thing about it is the way that like, it's not even the way that the world is like designed. It's the way that like entrepreneurship is designed. Screw everything else. It's like the more success you get, the more you're gonna want to figure out how to manage your time, and that just means like community. Like, are you gonna live in like a, you know, like, or are you gonna get your own shit? It's just and it comes down to like opinion and like what you want or whatever. But like, yeah, like that shit would never. That shit's not gonna. The bigger the house is always gonna be the better. The mansion is always gonna be the move. You know, like the biggest house on the block has the biggest cock. Like it's fuck your truck. I don't give a fuck.
This nigga came through this.
The biggest house on the block has the biggest cock. Fuck your truck. I don't give a fuck. That's a bar, bro.
Good thing I'm live, bro. I'm gonna run that back.
What would you say? This nigga came through with what?
the art fair today, and he had the. He was cool. I won't say his license plate, but because it's probably his name. When he came through, he kind of did a spin out in the fucking cul-de-sac, like where everybody was just walking and shit. And then this lady, she turned around, she's like, "Y'all, did y'all see that?" To just her friends, though. She's like, "Y'all, did y'all see that? Did you see how big that his dick was?" And they're like, "What?" She's like, "Did you guys see? Did you guys see how big his dick was?" And I'm like, "This girl's
That's some
funny."
shit I would say, bro. That's literally. I wish I was there. I would have been like, "Oh, that's my sarcasm." Like if I see that, I get so pissed when people do that. That's what I was just about to say before you said that. I was wondering where you're going with that, but I was about to say like, I'm not the type to really have like a track hawk and like. Right. People know I really have a track hawk until I have to let somebody know I have a track hawk.
Right, you would pull through that bitch like, so everybody could see every fucking buff you did on this shit. Yeah. Like you could. Oh, you needed to see the crack if you had something in your tooth. Yeah, I'm pulling it real slow. Exactly. Like, I'm not letting nothing on my shocks.
Who said it? Who was it? Mayweather or somebody in Fast and Furious or somebody said it with a nice ass car who fucks with cars or whatever. Car connoisseur said, "You think I got this whip? This spent all this money for me to like blow past you? No, you gonna see this motherfucker." I think it was Ludacris. I don't know. Might have been a song. I don't know, but like it was one of them things like you gonna see this like you gonna see this like whatever it is, and that's how it is. Think about old schools and lowriders. You're not out here flexing. Nobody in John would never do that. You're not doing that with pimp shit. You're not doing that. Even if you had a race a F1, why would you do that? Unless you're racing, it's just like those dudes are like, they knew the crowd, they see it or whatever. Maybe I will be that person. I don't. It's not. It's kind of just yeah. But if you got it, you got it. Like shit, it's there to flex if you want to. He said, "Comfortable when I talk to you. You make it hard and I wanted to. Pick it. What do you say? Pick it. Any spot in the globe, you can pick the kid." Some hard shit.
Is that Drake's new album?
No, if you want to talk about Drake's new album. Drake's actually, bro, everybody kept saying, I listened to that shit right after the fucking Game 6. Was that Game 6? Game 7. Right after the finals, bro. Right after the ring ceremony, I went on to that shit. It was already like, I think an hour. I think it was already up for an hour. I thought it was dropping at midnight.
You didn't hit it yet.
I know, I was just fixing it for you, making sure you're good. Anyways, bro, I don't give a I already knew that once I heard the first review about how Drake, it's the first thing I saw before that reminded me to like listen to it was like some negative feedback about the album, and I'm like, it's already gonna be one of them things that like nobody gets about Drake and nobody gets about anything, and maybe like Drake he pushes all boundaries, tests everything, and like he does anything and everything he wants. I remember was it was that 40 Oliver? Who was it? One of his producers, engineers says like, bro, like it's I don't know if he said it's super challenging or if it's super easy to be Drake's like producer, because like when you're making like hits and making albums and making classic like records and shit like that, you gotta figure out how you're gonna what song when it's Drake, when it's the Boy Wonder, you really gotta figure out which ones you're putting on the album. Are you gonna make it a hard ass like rap Drake bar for bar hard album, a trap album? Are you gonna make it a one dance album for are you gonna make it a what's that other what's that fucking that other dude who's any type of his songs, he touches every single thing. So if he ever puts it out, that like as like how I tell everybody about Kobe, how I've been telling everybody else about Thug, my job as a fan is to sit there and respect the fucking art. I'm never gonna sit here and say anything of Thugs is trash, because honestly, I don't really ever think anything is for one I don't know. Thug might have gotten $1.5 million for that Dua Lipa verse. Yeah, it was kind of corny or weird or like mainstream or whatever, and I didn't like it, but like I fucking fuck with it because it was still my brother. Like it was like how I fuck with you. Yeah, I didn't fuck with you. I don't fuck with that Guess T-shirt, but whatever. Like same shit. I'm just saying, I do like that Guess T-shirt. But I'm just saying, same thing with Thug. It's like my job is to sit there and shut the fuck up and like be a fan or not. and my job isn't to like critique anything other than the artistry. Just like how people were talking about Kobe Bryant about like rape allegations, cheating allegations. My job is not to worry about his sex life or his marriage life. Like, I'm not worried about his past or any of that shit. I watch him on the court, and that's what I'm mesmerized by. Like, I don't really care about. I listen to Thug, and I'm in tune. I'm chilling. I'm in the mode. I like that shit. I'm not worried about like how many bodies Thug may or may have, if it's true or not. I'm not thinking about that shit. This is rap. This is music. This is poetry. This is freedom of speech. Like, I'm saying shit. But yeah, like, what was my point about that?
Drake new album, just like if it was ass, would you say?
It was not ass, and if it was ass, would I say? Drake would never put. Drake's not. You're at that. Drake Curry's not coming out. Like, you don't. You have to guard Curry from the moment he wakes up. From the morning, you don't guard him on the court. You guard. Same thing. You know, with these. You know, like, yeah, no, I would.
No, I'm asking, is that what you was trying to say?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Is like, I honestly don't think. I'm such a super fan of. If I'm a fan of you, like, I don't think you ever miss. Like, and when you do miss, it wasn't a miss. Like, duh, it's basketball. You
warming up. You in the
15,000
shots. You in the booth. You in the booth. Just
you expect him to go 100%? That's not a thing. That's not a realistic stat. Shooting for close to that is cool, but yeah,
even an artist
missing a shot in NBA.
Even an artist lays a brush and then lays a brush over it.
Now name one thing Drake missed on.
I ain't even know he had a new album until like
so now okay, so that was what I was saying with that. Is like missing or not. It's like he didn't miss because for one, besides anything else, he didn't miss. Those sonics are hard. Everything about it was hard. The vision, the artistic direction was hard about it. It's a dance. It's a house dance, like whatever type thing. And he broke records, and that's what he was trying to do, doing it. He didn't promote it. He didn't do anything. He let people. He didn't want to. He wanted the fans to vote in and put it in and categorize it into that by themselves without any of his doing. That's what the whole thing was. Mind you, the artistic and creative direction behind it. When he put the CL business, and then 9 months later, after Game 6, he puts out whatever, and then also he puts out
getting used to each other, but I'm excited.
Also, he has that music video that he dropped with 21. He's obviously on some shit, and it leads, and so this he broke records for. So love it or hate it, who gives a fuck? Because Drake has discs on discs you can play, and if you don't like one of them, play another one. Guess what you can't do with Dua Lipa? Play discs on discs. Guess what you can't do with Mac Miller? You eventually run out. Like, guess what you can't do with XXX? You run out, or you can play mixtapes and shit with Mac too as well. But like, same thing. Like, eventually it comes down to like classics. Like, you're talking about like nobody talks about Thug and says like, yo, like, which one of his albums was the best? It's like, no, Drake's albums are like a real conversation. Like, it's amazing at that top of the tier, creme de la creme, bro. And you which one? It's either gonna be Barter. It's gonna be like Barter. Something Barter. It's gonna, I don't know, whatever. Like, and that's a crazy nigga. Like, that's a crazy discography, crazy talented, super diverse, and super like versatile. It's just like, yo, Drake put out some he wanted to put out a fucking. He wanted to break records on cheerleading mixtapes. He wanted to do a Kids Bop album. And break records, and everyone else is over here like, why did you do that? And Drake's like, nigga, you're not right away. Are always never don't y'all niggas aren't caught. Y'all niggas ain't caught up yet. Still, what did we say about some of his music, bro? Some of his songs we didn't like at first. A lot of the masses of people don't like Drake's music right away when it comes out first day. If you look at the numbers, bro, that should be a fucking YouTube podcast topic, bro. Somebody, academics should go on that and study that and figure that out. Nobody thinks his shit, like, the last one was fucking Take Care, where it was like, wow, this is amazing. Scorpio, like, nobody likes, but he still has music on there that it's like, you know, it's like, dude, y'all for one, And I honestly, truthfully think that shit's dope. I like every single. I haven't heard every single song. I think I might have heard more than 75% of it. And all that shit's dope. He shouted out YS